Hello, welcome back to some Strat-O-Matic baseball. So, dug into another replay that I haven't been working on in a while, and this is the 1961 Cincinnati Reds. So we are, or I am, on Wednesday, June the 28th, first game of a doubleheader versus the Chicago White Sox. So this is the second game of the series, and we won the last game 4-2. We are 8-1 versus the Cubs this year. We're in first place. We are 46-23, which is 3 games above what they were in real life. We have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row, and 10 of our last 11. So this club is hot. So, again, been a while since I have played this one, so I thought I would jump back in. I know some of the other ones I've been revisiting was fun. So this one, I think I think there was two All-Star games in 61. The first one was July the 11th, and I can't remember where it was, but at any rate, we're not too far from that first one. So on the mound for the Chicago Cubs is Glenn. It's phonetically Hobby, but I'm going to guess that it's Hobie. So we'll go with that. And he is 6-8 with a 3.72 ERA. Leading off for the Reds will be their shortstop, Eddie Casco. He's hitting .285, a home run, 22 runs driven in. He's already within 5 of what he did all year, so quite a few of these Reds are overperforming. I know Freese, for example, is overperforming quite a bit. So at any rate, without further ado, we will get this party started. So here is the Hobie. 3-9 versus a righty, and that's going to be a single to left. Base hit for Casco. Next up is Blasingame, who we got from San Francisco earlier in the year. So I don't have with the base runners, they're not fast, average and slow like they are in Napa. So we'll just do red here for everybody. Maybe I'll dig up the blue and do the blue for the Cubs. But Blasingame, he's a good bunter, so I think we're going to try to lay a bunt down here. Casco at first runs out of 15. So let's see if we can get a bunt down. Just in front of the plate, Hobie has it. Only player is at first. So nice job by Blasingame. Get the bunt. Sack bunt. 1, 2, 3, we'll say. One away. Vada Pinson hitting .346, 12 home runs, 50 runs driven in. As you can see, those 12 home runs are just 4 away from his 16 total for the year. 22 doubles. So again, his average is about there. But as far as extra base hits, he's a little bit tardy in triples. But at any rate, runner on second base. Pinson in the left-handed batter's box is at 2-5 versus a righty. That'll be a slow grounder to second base. Don Zimmer, the gerbil, will throw him out. I don't think he probably wasn't called the gerbil then. But that'll move Casco to third for Frank Robinson, who is absolutely tearing it up. .348, 28 home runs. He did have 37 that year, but again, at this rate, he's going to hit about 56. So 72 runs driven in, 19 doubles, 3 triples. So another Cincinnati Red absolutely cleaning up. Let me get rid of that bat sound because it's not matching my commentary. All right, 2 out. Casco at third. Hobie looks into Taylor for the sign, and here is the pitch. to Mr. Frank Robinson. 3-4, and he's going to draw a walk. That is the one thing he's underperforming on a bit, but he gets a walk here. Runners on the corner for Gus Bell, who is way overperforming. He's hitting 353, 7 home runs, so he's 100 points over his average. And he's got he's more than doubled his home run output, and he's about 100 at bats away from his 235 at bats, as you can see there. 9 doubles when he only had 10. So again, another guy overperforming quite a bit. So Robinson is being held, but we'll go ahead and let Gus Bell hit. So here is the delivery. 6-2, and that's a home run shot. He's a lefty, and there's another one. That may be robbing a home run, but we'll check. So we got 6-2. So that's a home run ballpark check. He rolled a 10. I don't know if Wrigley has the short walls or not, but that's a high fly ball, deep, long drive at the wall. Yep, they're going to test him here. So let's see if Altman in right field's able to rob it. 19, I think he might. And he jumped for it and got it. So if it wasn't for the robbing the home run rule, that would have been out of here. But as it is, Altman robs Gus Bell of his 8th home run, and the Reds come up empty. So how about that? No runs on a hit, no errors. They leave 2 on. Half an inning, Reds nothing. Chicago coming to bat. So that was exciting. All right, on the mound for the Reds is Bob Perky. He's 8-4 with a 3.30 ERA. And he will start off with Al Heist, Chicago center fielder. He's hitting 380, 2 home runs, 9 runs driven in. Here is Perky's offering. 5-7, and that's a second base X. Game is a 324, so it could be exciting here. Let's see if he can make the play. So 15, he will get to it, and a 12. The error is on 11, so he'll make a good play. So nice defensive play by Game to retire Heist. 1 away. That gives us Don Zimmer. Don's hitting 226, 6 home runs. He hit 13 home runs that year. I never knew he had that much power. So here is the delivery. Bob Perky into Edwards, the catcher. 2-8, and that's a hard ground ball to third base. Freese, who is there, will play it cleanly and throw him out for out number 2. Ron Santo up with 2 out, nobody on. Santo's hitting 255, 9 bombs, 29 runs driven in, 12 doubles. Here is the delivery. 4-6 for a righty, and that's going to be a single. Lines that to left field. Gus Bell will play it on a couple hops. And a 2-out base hit, so we will hold him on. So when I'm using the Strat game, obviously using the Strat PC manager, so I only have to worry about the Reds. That's one advantage to using the PC helper. Get blue for the Cubbies. All right. George Altman, right fielder. He's hitting 341, 14 bombs, 36 runs driven in, so he's off to a pretty good start. So again, let's see if they try any shenanigans with Santo. Nope. You're going to hold it, keep him safe there. So here's the pitch. Left-handed hitting Altman versus right-handed throwing Perky. Sorry about that. 5-7, and that's another second base X. Let's see how Blasingame does this time. So he gets a 15, so again he'll get to it, and an 8 on the E check, and he makes another fine defensive play. So he'll field it in the hole and throw on over to first to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. We've played one here at beautiful Wrigley Field. No score. We have average weather today and a crowd of 12,785 on hand to catch the doubleheader. This is a makeup. This game is a makeup from a rain out back on April 25th, I believe it was. Let's see. Now we're crooked. Can't have that. There we go. All right, top of the second. Gordy Coleman, first baseman, will start off. He's one of the few Reds who's not overperforming, but still not off too much. 264, 10 home runs, 36 runs driven in. That is one advantage to when you start getting into deep in a replay, is that you start getting the stats, and that's a lot of fun, and seeing how they compare to real life, and it kind of gives you a feel for your own little season universe. Left-handed hitting Gordy Coleman. 2-7, and that's going to be a single. Base hit number 2 for the Reds. They do this goofy out of play foul ball. That's so annoying. And single up the middle. So base hit for Gordy Coleman. So they're not going to hold him, as he is not a threat to steal. 1 stolen bases and got caught 3 times. I guess, and most of those were hit and runs. So that gives us Freezy, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. So as you can see, another overperformer. He's hitting 358, 20 home runs already, 56 runs driven in, 20 out of 27 doubles already. So if he's going to match his real life totals, he's going to have a horrible slump. But at any rate, so they got the corners in, which is ridiculous because he's not going to bunt, but we'll go with that. So let's see, got Coleman at first base. He runs out of 9, so again, not very good. 5-8, and that's a hard ground ball to short. Tailor-made double play. Kendall to Zimmer to Bushi at first. 6-4-3 double play. Now watch me. I probably jinx Freezy. He'll hit 100 the rest of the way. All right, 2 out, nobody on for Johnny Edwards. Johnny Edwards is 0 for 1. So this his first start of the year. I think they just called him up, or he just got on the team or something. It's been a while since I've been with this replay. 6'10", that's a center field X. Heist is a 210. 6'10", so that's a pretty high E rating for a center fielder. Let's see what happens. So a 4, so he barely gets to it, and an 8-10, and he makes the play. So fine defensive play by Al Heist in center field will end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the second, still no score. Billy Williams will lead things off for Chicago here in their half of the second. Williams is hitting 260, 5 home runs, 24 runs driven in. Left-handed hitting left fielder. 112, and that's a home run check, and that's going to be out of here. So 112. He got a 7 on the die, needed a 10 or less. So that's hit high, and that's hit deep down the right field line, and it's out of here. Home run number 6 of the year.
Back, gone.
And the Cubs are up 1-0. run number 6. Keeping score as usual, so bear with me. So again, coming into this game, the Reds are 8-1 versus Chicago, so they've had their way with them thus far. I know sometimes reading people that the 61 Red team underperforms a bit in replays, at least some that I've read, but they are hitting on all cylinders in mine. But losing 1-0 here. So Ed Bucci, we'll go with that. Again, feel free to correct me. Some of these guys in the early 60s, I didn't have the benefit of hear or watching play. So left-handed hitting first baseman, he's hitting .222, 3 home runs, 12 runs driven in. 1-3, and that's going to be a single. Got an 8 on the 20-sided die. So he slaps that up the middle. Perky flails at it, but not able to pick it up. Bushi on first. Let's see. He's not much of one to be held. He's 1 for 5, so we're not going to hold him, especially with a left-handed hitter, Sammy Taylor up. So runner on first. He runs at a 12, however. So let's see if they try anything. Nope, they're going to let Taylor hit away, so no out. The catcher, Sammy Taylor, hitting .200, a home run, 10 RBIs. 3-5, and he strikes out. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball by Perky. His first strikeout of the game, 1 away. Bucci still at first. That brings up Jerry Kendall, the shortstop. He's hitting .209 with a home run and 7 runs driven in. Mr. Power. 3-6, and that's a slow grounder to second base. Blasting game charges, and the only play he'll have is at first, and he will make that play, get Kendall by a step. So Bucci makes it to second. 2 out. That brings up the pitcher, Hobie. And again, feel free to correct me. It's phonetically Hobby, but I just felt like it's Hobie. Seemed like I've heard that somewhere. Now I'm doing the pitchers, the real life Strat pitchers card, so obviously they didn't card those, so I'm just using that as a placeholder. All right, so Hobie up to bat, runner at second base, 2 out. 5-10, so you'll get to see this one. That's a shortstop X. So we will be testing the defensive prowess of Casco. He's a .227. So 6, he will get to it, as they were not holding Bucci. Even if they were, Hobie's a right-handed hitter. So we got 9-10 on the E-check, and so that's going to be a nice play by Casco. And he fires over to Coleman to end the inning. But the Cubs get a run on 2 hits, no errors, leave a runner on. We've played 2, 1-0 Chicago. 9, 1, and 2 scheduled up for the Reds here in the top of the 3rd. Bob Perky, a 100 hitter. Again, unfortunately, with Strat, you don't get to see what the pitchers are doing in the replay. You would think they would have that figured out by now, but they don't. So it is what it is. So Perky, right-handed hitter versus the right-handed thrower, Hobie. 6-8, and that's going to be trouble. That's going to be big trouble. You see, he's a righty, so he got good wood on that one. 6-8. Got a 2 on the 20-sided die, so Perky hits that one high to right center field. That's going to be out of the reach of Heist. And Perky's going to be into second base with a stand-up double. So he had 2 doubles in real life. I'm not for sure how many that is for him in the replay. So Perky at second, he runs at a 10. Tying run on first. Eddie Casco singled and got as far as third base in the first inning. So again, he's a right-handed hitter. Got his average up to 288. 4-5. That's a shortstop X. Kendall is a 252, so he is error prone. See if he can make the play or not. So he gets a 2, so he's not even going to make the play. And then we got a 6-10. No error, though. So that's going to be a ground ball in the hole. It's picked up by Kendall. He fires to first, and the call is safe. So that'll be an infield single for Casco. And now the Reds have him on the corners with no out. So the Cubs are going to play back at double play depth. That brings up Blassingham. He's got a sacrifice bunt to his credit. Tempted to do another one here. We're going to go ahead and let him hit away. So Perky at first at third runs at a 10. Casco is a 15, and he's being held on. So Casco with much better speed over at first base. And here is Blassingham. 5-7, and that's going to be a single. So how about that? Got a 3 on that 20-sided die. That's going to find a hole where Bucci would have been. And Casco will make it all the way to third, and we are tied at 1. RBI single for Blassingham, and Hobie's troubles are just beginning as he's got 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Reds. Blassingham at first is a 15. He's being held on. Casco at third is a 15. Good speed on the bases for the Reds. They're still back at double play depth. Let me make sure that they've got the right computer manager here. Chicago managed by the computer. Yep. All right. So they're hoping for the double play. Beta Pinson, he grounded out to second in his first at bat. 2-9, and he whiffs. So big strikeout there for Hobie. Change up, nice Jim. Pinson way out in front. Strikeout number 1 today for Hobie. So now a double play will get him out of the inning, but he's got Frank Robinson, who walked his 29th walk of the year. Again, Frank Robinson, the hottest player in the National League right now. 4-4, and that's a third base X. Santo is a 332, so this could be exciting. Let's see if he's able to save it with a... So he gets a 15. That's going to be a double play if he doesn't make an error. He get a 6-7, and it isn't. So nice play by Santo. Fires on to Zimmer. He avoids Blassingham coming in with a hard slide and gets Robinson by a half a step. So that was a big one. So Blassingham out 5-4. 5-4-3 double play. So the Reds get a run on 3 base hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the bottom of the third now, tied at 1. So that was a big one. That could have been a big inning for the Reds. So Hobie did a great job of avoiding the trouble there, or getting out of the trouble. He actually did a pretty pitiful job of avoiding the trouble, but once he got into it, he did a good job. So top of the order for the Cubs, Al Heist. He grounded out to second his first at bat. 1-7, 1-3. That's a line out to short. Hit hard, but Casco able to stab it from the jaws of victory. 1 out. Don Zimmer, he grounded out to Freezy at third. 2-10, and that's a ballpark single check, and you need a 6, and a 6 he got. So that'll be a base hit for Zimmer. 2-10, a 6, so that's the 4th hit today for Chicago as Zimmer lines it up the middle. Benson will fire it in as Zimmer heads back to first base, 1 out. Zimmer runs at a 14, so he had good speed for a gerbil back then. So we're going to hold him on. That brings up Ron Sano. He's got a single to his credit today. Zimmer at first runs at a 14. And he's trying to get a lead and not able to, so they will pitch to Santo. Again, Santo hitting .258, 9 home runs. 1-6, and that's going to be a 2-star single. So Santo hits this one the other way. In between Blasingame and Coleman, Zimmer chugs around second and slides into third. And the Cubs have him on the corner with 1 out. Santo's 2 for 2 today. So Zimmer at third base is a 14. Santo at first base is a 13, so decent speed. Coleman is going to hold Santo on. That brings up Altman, who grounded out to second. His first at bat. I think we're going to do this to infield back. I'm going to try for a double play here if we can get it. It's early in the game. So again, Altman 0 for 1 with a ground out. 4-9, and that's going to be a ground ball to first base. We should have had the corners in. Coleman will go to Casco, trying to get the double play and not in time. So Altman able to beat it out, and the Cubs score to go up 2-1. So Zimmer scores on the play. Santo out on the fielder's choice, 3-6. And Altman on with a fielder's choice and a run driven in. So Altman runs out of 13. He will be held on. Billy Williams had a home run in his first at bat. So runner on first, 2 out. And Altman tries to get a lead. Here's the throw to first by Perky, and safe. Just by a hair. So Perky will focus his attention on Williams, seeing if he can keep him in the ballpark this time. 6-7, and that's a high fly ball to center field. Not too deep. And Pinson will grab it with 2 hands as they did in those days for out number 3. The Cubs take a lead. 1 run on 2 base hits, no errors. They leave a runner on. We go to the top of the 4th. Chicago Cubs 2, Cincinnati Reds 1. Gus Bell will lead off for the Reds here in the 4th. Gus Bell was robbed of a home run by Altman back in the 1st, to end the 1st actually. He's looking for his revenge. 6-8, and he's going to continue his hot ways, as that's going to be a single. It's a 17 on the 20-sided die. So that's pulled past Bucci at first. And Altman will throw it back in. Single for Bell. 1 out. So Bell runs at a 14. He's being held on. So good speed at first. Gordy Coleman's got a single and was erased on a double play by Freese. Actually, the Reds have hit into 2 double plays today. Let's see. Bell was just 1 for 1 on stolen bases, so he didn't steal much. That's one thing about Strat. I have to do that stuff myself, and ATBA, it's all automated, and replay too, for that matter, which I kind of like in these situations anyway. 4-6, and that's a hard ground ball to second base. Zimmerman fires it to Kendall. Back to Bucci. 4-6-3 double play. So the Reds have hit into their 3rd double play of the game. All right, and that brings up Freese. He's hit into the 1st double play of the game. 6-4-3 back in the 2nd. 2 out, nobody on. Cubs up 2-1. 5-8, and that's a hard ground ball to second, or to short rather, and that would be a double play if there was a runner on and the situation was right. But as it is, Kendall fires to first in the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, runner left. We go to the home half of the 4th, 2-1 Chicago. Got 6, 7, and 8 up for Chicago here in the bottom of the 4th. Bucci hit a single in his first at bat to improve his average to 227. 1-4, and that's going to draw a walk. That's the first walk issued by Perky today, 13th of the year for Bucci. He runs at a 12, so average speed. Let's see, did he steal any? 1 for 4, so we're going to go ahead and Coleman's going to play behind him at first. Sammy Taylor, he struck out his first at bat of the game. They're not going to do anything with Bucci at first. 4-6, and that's going to be another single. So that's 11. That was a split chance. A 16 or less is a single, so liner up the middle. And Bucci will hold at second. Runners on first and second. Nobody out for Jerry Kendall. He grounded out to short in his first at bat. Perky eyes into Edwards for the sign, and here is the delivery. 6-7, and that's a ground ball to second base. Blasting game will get it to Casco, but that'll be all they'll get, as Casco not able to get the throw off to first. So Bucci makes it to third. 4-6, Taylor is out, and Kendall on with the fielder's choice. So the Cubs have him on the corner, 1 out for the pitcher. So we're going to do the corners in. Kendall being held at first, runs at a 14. Bucci at third is a 12. So here is the delivery.
Just a bit of...
Chicago hopeful, hoping for a big thing here. 4-6, and they got it. That's going to be a single. So the pitcher comes through in his own cause. He lines that to right field. Bucci scores, Kendall to third, and it's 3-1 Chicago. RBI for Hobie. And they still have him on the corners for Al Heist. Reds will be at still have the corners, trying to get the double play up the middle. They're playing behind Hobie at first. Gordy Coleman is. 1-5, and that's going to be a slow grounder to short, or to second rather. Kendall's going to score on the play. All Blassingham can do is get the out at second or at first, as Hobie goes to third, or Hobie goes to second rather. So 4-3 on the putout. Out number 2, RBI for Heist. And it is now 4-1 Cincinnati. Or 4-1 Chicago, I mean. So Don Zimmer, he singled and scored. Hobie at second is a 10. So not very fast. Again, being the pitcher, they're usually not. There's the power. 5-9, and that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. This will be a can of corn for Pinson, and that'll do it for the Cubs. However, they do get a couple more on just 2 hits, no errors, and they leave a runner on. So after 4 complete, it is Chicago 4, Cincinnati 1. So 8, 9, and 1 up for the Reds here in the 5th. Johnny Edwards is flied out to center field. Left-handed hitting catcher again, and for his first start of the season. 3-4, and that's going to be a single. 3-4, 16 on the 20. Edwards pulls that into the hole. Altman will fire it back in. Edwards retreats to first with a single. Gives us Perky. So Edwards is 1-0, so if he can get a lead, he has got a 95% chance. And he's not able to. So that brings up Perky. Edwards just runs at a 10. So we're going to see if we can get a bunt down here for Perky. Squares around. Sando picks it up and fires to first. 5-4 on the sacrifice. 1 out. Edwards at second. And Eddie Casco, who is 2 for 2 today. He has an RBI or a single. He's made it to third both times, but that was as far as he got both times. Right-handed hitter versus the right-handed Hobie. 3-8, and that's popped up on the infield. That was his column too, but he found the out. Don Zimmer will wave everyone off, and they will acquiesce for out number 2. So that was another big out for Hobie. So he's doing a good job of dodging the bullet. So Blasingame is singled, drove in his 14th run of the season. Looking for a 2-out clutch hit here. He is not a clutch hitter. His 2-4 and 112 turn to pop outs. 2-7, and that's a fly ball out to right field. His Blasingame pulls the changeup, but Altman is there and grabs it to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. Bottom of the 5th, 4-1 Chicago. So 3, 4, and 5 scheduled up for the Cubs. Bob Perky on the mound for his 5th inning of work. Not had a great day so far. See if he can right the ship. Santo is 2 for 2 today. 5-6, and that's a ground ball down to the third baseman, Freese, and he will play it on a short hop and fire across the infield for out number 1. So Santo finally retired today as he's got his average up to 260. Altman has a ground ball and got an RBI and a fielder's choice, his 37th run of the year driven in. 5-11, and that's a first base X as he pulls it down to Coleman. Coleman is a 412, so a decent E rating, not a great range. See if he can get to it. That's a 5. He will not. He gets a 10, so he doesn't make an error at least, but that will be a single as it's hit into the end or in the hole and past Gordon into right field. Into past Gordy Coleman rather. So that puts Altman at first. He runs at a 13, and he is being held on. Williams has a home run and a fly out. The Reds bullpen up and working. And Altman tries to get a lead, not able to. So Billy Williams, left-handed hitting left fielder. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 1 of the day for Perky. And Williams takes that pitch, and a little bit low, but umpire calls it a strike at the knees. So that's a strikeout looking. 2 away for Bucci, who is singled and walked, scored a run. Left-handed hitting first baseman. 6-8, and that's a ground ball to second base. Blasingame will make this play to end the inning as he fires to first. 4-3. So the Cubs go down with a run and a runner left on. Top of the 6th, 4-1 Chicago Cubs. Heart of the Cincinnati lineup coming up in the 6th. He'll be pitching a great game. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. So Veda Pinson. Again, I could do research on these, but it feels like I'd rather just play the games. So, again, if I'm missing that, just correct me, and I will try to remember. All right, so Veda Pinson, he is 0 for 2 today. Again, a dangerous hitter. 1-9, and that's a ground ball back to the box. Hobie with nice reflexes in self-defense makes that play. And he walks it over to the first baseman, out number 1. Frank Robinson has walked and hit into a double play. Again, the Reds have hit 3 today, so those have been very helpful for the Cub cause. 2-9. Oh, wow. That's right in the middle of all that goodness, but another ground ball back to the mound. This one not hit quite as hard as Robinson tops a fastball. At the same result, 1-3. 2 out for Gus Bell, who's 1 for 2. Again, robbed of a home run by Altman back in the first. 5-8, and that's a high fly ball out to center field. And Heist will get to it with no difficulty in the inning. So the Reds go in order for the first time today. And we go to the home half of the 6th. Chicago up by 3. So the bottom of the lineup scheduled for the Cubs. Sammy Taylor, Cub catcher. Will step into the left-handed batter's box. He is 1 for 2 this afternoon. 5-10. That's a shortstop X. We will test Casco's fielding acumen. 5-10. He's a 227. So 20, he'll get to it. 9-15 and makes the play. So nice job by Casco. Fielding his position, 1 away. And that gives us Jerry Kendall, who is 0 for 2. He did score on a fielder's choice. Nobody on, 1 out. 4-6, and there's another single. Base hit number 9 today for the Cubs. So Berkey's going to be on a short leash here. Kendall goes the other way. That brings up the pitcher. Again, he can hit a little. He's got had 2 home runs and 3 doubles, so they're going to let him hit away. Kendall at first is a 14, so they're holding him on. So we are going to have the corners in. So actually, I don't make this decision. Chicago is. So let's see what they decide. And they're going to have him bunt. He fouls off the first attempt, and 1 and 2. He's going to bunt again. So let's see. We have the option of going for second. He's safe on 1-14, so we'll get that sure out at first. So Coleman will fire it to Blasingame covering. Kendall down to second. Sack bunt 3-4. 2 out. Kendall again runs at a 14. Al Heist, who has his 10th RBI of the year on a ground out. See why he 2 out. Runner on second base. 5-9, and that's another fly ball. Hit hard out to center field. Relatively deep, but not too bad. And Veda Pinson will run it down to end the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. We go to the 7th. 4-1 Chicago. Gordy Coleman will lead the festivities off here in the 7th. See, Hobie has got a 7 on his fatigue. So Coleman is singled and hit into a double play. Hitting 266 for the year. 5-10, that's a single check. You need a 6 and got a 15, so not going to get it this time. And I have the computer. This is the one computer thing I do is where they change up these out so they're not all the same. So that's a ground ball back to Hobie. And he'll field him, throw him out, 1 away. That brings Freese, who's grounded to short twice, once for a double play. Still hitting 355. He was the league leader for a long time. Still maybe. 2-9, and that's going to be a fly ball out to right center field. Hit hard and hit deep. Heist is on his horse, and he will track it down in the alley to rob Freese of a double. Out number 2. Johnny Edwards is 1 for 2 today. 2 out, nobody on. Top of the 7th. 6-9, and that's going to be trouble. 6-9. Got a 17 on the 20. So that's going to be hit high into center field. Heiss won't get to this one. And Edwards is in with his first double of the season. So he's 2 for 3 today. He's taking advantage of his first start. That brings up the pitcher, Perky, who's doubled and hit a sacrifice fly. You almost have to pinch hit here, so that's what we're going to do. Let's see who we got on the bench. Looks like Lynch would be our first choice. They may walk him. So Lynch is hitting .408, no home runs, 11 runs driven in. Left-handed hitter, Jerry Lynch, pinch hitter. Get his card. So 2 out, runner on second. Edwards runs at a 10. Not great. Let's see what they do here. They're going to pitch to him, not wanting a big inning. So here is Lynch, seeing if he can get the Reds some more runs. 2-5, and that's a clutch, and he is not a clutch. So that's popped up on the infield. And Zimmer will get it to end the inning. So Lynch not able to come through in the clutch. No runs, a hit. They leave a runner on. 7th inning stretch time here in Cincinnati, or in Chicago rather. Got to find us a new pitcher for the Reds. So our trivia question: who is the oldest rookie to go on to a 20-year career? That's a good question. I'm going to say Wade Boggs. Hoyt Wilhelm. That knuckleball helped him there. So he was a rookie in 29 and 52 and retired in 1972. So yeah, that knuckleball added some years to him. All right, so let's see who the Reds are going to bring in to relieve. How about Jay Hook? Oh, he sucks. I don't want him. He pitched a lot. You got to get him in. They're down by 4. I guess we could throw him in and see what he can do. He's very good against righties. So let's see who the Cubs have coming up. They got 2 righties and then 4 lefties. Let's see who else we got. Got Jones. Let's go with Jones. Sherman Jones, who's got the wrong card. This is his first start, so I think he started the year with them. He may have come over in that blasting game trade. Sherman Jones. So again, this is his first action of 1961. So let's put might have to find his card. Oh, there he is. All right, Sherman Jones. Take over. He'll start with Don Zimmer. Don Zimmer is 1 for 3. Bottom of the 7th. 1-4, and that's a hard ground ball to short. Casco will field it, throw him out, 1 away. Ron Santo is 2 for 3 today. Got his average up to 259. 1 out, nobody on. Right-handed hitter, right-handed batter, 4-7, and that's going to result in a walk. 25th walk of the year for Santo. 1 out, 1 on. And that goofy foul ball. That is so asinine. So Santo is a 13. Not a threat to steal, so Coleman's going to play behind him, especially with Altman, left-handed hitter. Altman is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Here is the delivery from Jones. 1-3, and that's a single ballpark check, and that's a 17, so that will fall short. So 1-3, 17 on the 20. Altman will hit that out to right field. Robinson will take a few steps toward the infield and squeeze it for out number 2. All right, 2 out. Santos still at first, runs at a 13. Billy Williams has got a home run in 3 trips. For 7, and that's another walk. So as you can see, our man Jones is a little wild. It's his second walk of the inning. Runners on first and second, they both run at a 13. And Ed Bucci, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, looking for a 2-out clutch hit. He is not a clutch hitter as his 2-10 and 3-5 turn to pop-outs. That's one thing I like about Strat Super Advanced is the clutch ratings. Kind of gives you a little bit more feel for what they did in the year. I like that, at least. I know some don't. 2-3, and that's a ballpark single check again. 17 will not cut it, so nice job by Jones. 2-3, 17 on the 20. And Bucci will hit that out to right field. Robinson will track it down, and that'll do it for the Cubs. So they get a couple walks, but strand them. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 will run on, 2 left on. We go to the 8th. Chicago still with a 3-run lead. So again, I'm not managing Chicago. I keep forgetting that when I go back to these replays. So Hobie still on the mound for his 8th inning of work. Pitching a fine game. He's got the top of the lineup here, starting off with Eddie Casco, who's 2 for 3 this afternoon. 2-8, and that's ground ball down to third. Santo will play it in the hole, throw across the infield, and get Casco by a step. 1 out. Blossing game is 1 for 3, 1 for 2 rather. He did have a sacrifice bunt. And he's got I need to fix his card too. I don't know if I can find a Reds uniform for him or not. 4-7, and he walks. That's just the second walk given up by Hobie today. 16th walk of the year for Blossing game. So that brings the tying run to the on-deck circle. He runs at a 15. They're going to hold him on. Vada Pinson 0 for 3. Very dangerous. You got some good batters coming up. Hobie got out of this situation once. Can he do it again? 6-3, and that's left field X. And that's Billy Williams, who is not a good fielder. He's a 4-13, so this could be interesting. 15, and he's able to get to it. 11-14, and no errors. So the Cubs dodge a bullet as Williams is able to make the play. Blasting Game retires back to first, and there's 2 out. Again, Blasting Game runs at a 15, 2 out. Frank Robinson is 0 for 2 with a walk. And they're going to let Hobie pitch to Robinson, so here we go. Robinson, again, able to make this game interesting in a hurry. 2-6, and he does just that. Got a 5 on the 20, and that is going to be a high drive out to center field. Heist check back to the wall, and it is out of here. Home run number 29 of the year for Frank Robinson, and we have a 1-run ball game. He has done this all year long. He's just having an amazing year. He's going to hit 60 home runs at this rate. All right. 2 out, nobody on. They're going to keep Hobie on the mound. Leo DeRocher having confidence in his starter. We'll see if that backfires on him. 1-8, and that's ground ball back to the box. So he will get Gus Bell to retire the side. The Reds get 2 runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Chicago. So let's see, when is Smith due up? He's 4th. I think with this kind of, I'd be more comfortable with somebody different on the mound. Let's see who the Reds got. Said it's been a little while since I've visited this replay, so I've got to reacquaint myself with everyone. So Brosman was their closer. Bill Henry, who is a lefty, and I think we'll go with Henry and see how he's pitched quite a bit, so I may have overused him. Let's see who else we got. Nunn isn't bad. I've overused him too, or at least actually I overused him a lot. Brosnan has been underused, so we'll go ahead and bring in Brosnan. Let's see. Actually, I might do a double switch. I think that's what I'll do. Let's bring Brosnan in to Gus Bell's spot. And then left field, we can go with Wally Post. Yeah, we'll go with Wally Post. So Wally Post will be in left. Brosnan on the hill. All right. Post, not a great left fielder. He does have a good arm. All right. So that brings Jim Brosnan. Right-handed pitcher. As you can see, he's 2-0 with 12 saves with a 1.97 ERA, so he's done well so far here in 1961. That'll be it for Sherman Jones. Didn't do a bad job. Let's see. All right. Sammy Taylor will lead off for the Cubs. Left-handed hitter. Brosnan actually a little better versus lefties, even though he is a righty. Okay, here we go. Two, 7, and that's ground ball down to second baseman Blassingame. He will field it, throw him out, 1 away. Taylor now 1 for 4 for the afternoon. That brings up Kendall, who is 1 for 3 with a run scored. 4-2. That's a shallow fly ball out to center field. Pinson on the run will catch it at the knees for out number 2. Let's see what Mr. DeRocher does here with Hobie. They're going to let him hit, so that could be their bullpen is a little bit tired. So interesting strategy. Let's see how it works out. So 4-5, and that's a ground ball down to Casco of routine variety, and he will get Hobie by 3 steps to end the inning. All right, top of the 9th. Hobie back on the mound. Cubs up by 1. 6, 7, and 8 scheduled for the Reds. Gordy Coleman is 1 for 3. Here we go. 4-4. That's a shortstop X. Again, Kendall with a pretty high error rating. He's 252. So a 12, he'll get to it, and a 14, and he makes the play. So nice defensive job by Kendall there, making the play when he needed to. 1 out. Freezy's 0 for 3. He hasn't had too many of those this year. Oops, sorry. 6-10. That's a center field X. Heist is a 2-10. So an 18, he tracks it down, a 12, and he makes the play. So 2 good defensive plays in a row here for Chicago. And the Reds down to their last out. Johnny Edwards getting his first start today is 2 for 3 with a double. Left-handed hitting catcher, right-handed throwing pitcher. Cub fans on their feet. 2-4, and that's a hard ground ball to short, and Kendall will make the play, and the Reds go down into defeat. So, fun game. Go in order, and that's the ball game. So we'll check out our box score. See if I can get you guys to see it. There we go. So the the Cubs get 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. The Reds 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Bob Perkey takes the loss to fall to 8-5. Hobie, the complete game win, goes to 7-8. The Cubs improved to 21-46. They were 26-47, so they're 5 games worse than they were in real life. The Reds dropped to 46-24. They were 44-26. So they are 2 games better than they were in real life. And so we have the second game of a doubleheader coming up. And then I think they actually have one more game Thursday. They do. And then they go to Milwaukee for 5 games, looks like. Or 4 games maybe. So that'll be fun. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee Braves, obviously. So anyway, there you have it. So the Reds still 2 games above what they were, but fall today to a score of 4-3. Frank Robinson made it interesting with his 29th home run of the season, and that'll do it for today. So anyway, appreciate it very much. I'll see you next time.